I'm going to explain the most common forms of sin that nobody talks about. It's not drinking, it's not smoking, it's not lust, it's not all these other things. I learned this from my mentor last night. I was on the phone with him having a conversation. And look, I'm a coach and I teach people how to have the highest level of confidence and appreciation for life. Teach people how to get fit, sober, and disciplined. I coach, I mentor, obviously. If you do, every coach and every mentor needs a coach and a mentor. Like, you got to continuously be learning. But that's just a little side tangent. Everybody needs to continuously be learning. I was talking to one of my mentors last night, and he was telling me the most common forms of sin is three things. And the last one is the most common form. Number one is not investing your time. If you're not investing your time, you are literally not living up to the potential that God has laid out for you. All three of these align with you not investing or not being aligned with your highest purpose that God has laid out for you. People think that the highest forms of sin is drinking, smoking, all these things because they cause big destruction, but really in small times. Like, unless you're an alcoholic and you're drinking every single day, most people would probably drink a couple times a week at most, or once or twice, 3 times throughout the month, right? Which is sinful or whatever, or lustful, going out to the club and just trying to fuck on all these bitches and all this shit. It's like rare moments where it's happening. So out of 24 hours a day, you're not even drinking. So that's why that's not the most common. Not investing your time, not making the most of the time that you have for the purpose that God has laid out for you. Like, literally, God has a plan for everybody, every day, to align with his purpose. A little over a year ago, I decided to read the Bible. It took me 6 months. I read 10 pages every single day. And the biggest lesson that I got from the Bible is that we are being guided every single day, even through the smallest decisions. Like, literally, it's like when people talk about the devil and God on your shoulder, and you just hear that voice and you hear that voice. That happens all day long, all day long. And I swear, when I started paying attention, it's like one of my other mentors says. He says, your conscience is the authentic voice of God. And I swear, it could be me trying to lose weight, and I'm like going out to eat, and it's like literally a very simple example I always use is the apple versus the cookie. As soon as I see it, my mind is telling me one thing. I know exactly what I should do, and then my mind is telling me something else of what I want to do. Like, you need to grab the apple. Now just grab the cookie. Like, bro, you've been working out. You've had your diet on point. You start making all these excuses, all these reasons for why you should do the thing that you know you're not supposed to do or partake in. And then boom, you fold and you get the cookie. It's like, oh, that's no big deal. It's just the cookies, eh? No, you don't understand. You were literally being guided in that one moment to make a decision that was going to align with your purpose. Now you went that way. Instead of going straight, you're slightly off like that. Boom. You keep going. You're fucking way far off because you're going to keep making the same mistakes or the same decisions because there's no big immediate effect in the moment. I had the cookie. Who gives a fuck if you have the cookie? Nothing's going to happen to your body immediately. There's no consequence immediately, so you build the confidence. I say this all the time. Instead of going straight, you're just boop, boop, boop. You're going way off track. Over days, weeks, months, you're way off track because you kept making that same decision. So not investing your time is one of the biggest forms of sin. The second biggest form of sin, there's 3 of them. The third one is the most common. The second biggest form of sin is not investing your money. Most people and especially Americans, don't even understand that if you're making $30,000 or $40,000 a year, you are doing so much better than all these other people in all these other countries. I'm 23 and I've just hit my 21st country. I have seen some of the roughest parts of the world. Like, I'm telling you, there's no paved streets. If you were to take your toothbrush, pour water on it, and brush your teeth using that water, you would be so fucking sick. I'm telling you, like, you literally, it's on the news. Do not use this water. Do not use it for brushing your teeth. Like, you know how much water goes on a toothbrush? Like, fucking a couple raindrops. If you put that in your mouth and brush your teeth, you will be so sick. Like, but regardless, not investing your time or not investing your money. Like, you need to invest your money into into making more money. That way you can take care of your family, your community, have more resources to take care of more things. Like, literally, if you invested instead of just saving and holding it for just yourself or just you and your family, you'd be able to make a bigger impact in your community and the people around you and just be a better person overall. Your time and your money needs to be invested for the well-being of yourself and others, especially as a man. Even if you think you don't have that much money, you have plenty of money that you can invest into the stock market, into fucking homes, whatever. Just invest it into something that's going to allow it to grow, because God didn't just give you this money to hold to yourself and just for you and your small little family. He wanted it to grow and be prosperous and spread out as far as it could go. God has a plan for you. He didn't set you here as some average person to do average things, hold all your money to yourself, waste all your time and not invest it to become smarter and do all these other things. Like, you got to understand, God has a plan for you. Listen to that voice in your head, even on the smallest decisions. And if you continuously listen to that voice, the voice becomes louder. But if every single time you go out and you choose the cookie versus the apple, the cookie versus the apple, the cookie versus the apple, we have free will. We can do what we want. Every time you do that, that voice is going to get quieter and quieter and quieter. You're literally just going to override it immediately. Boom, boom, boom. You're not even going to recognize that you were being guided in that moment. I'm telling you this from experience. I literally just follow everything that I know I'm supposed to do every single day. Small decision, big decision. There's been times where I would literally get home and I would lay down and I'm like, I want to take a nap. And I would just hear in my mind, like, nope, get out of bed. And immediately just boom. I swear to you, like, you're literally being guided all the time. I would hear it, lay down, nope, get up, boom. And just immediately just put action to it. Don't sit, don't think on it. Just know that you're being guided, get up and go. The third biggest form of sin is not investing your thoughts. What are you sitting thinking about each day? What music are you listening to? People talk about a diet and talk about like food and everything, but what are you consuming each day with social media, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like all these things? And then what are you thinking about? What are you sitting 24 hours out of the day thinking about? That is probably the hardest work that anybody can do, is to do some deep thinking. Like, oh my God, most people really don't use their brain. There's like the movie Lucy, I think it's called Lucy, where it says that like humans are at like 10% thinking capacity with their brain, and then it develops where she gets like 20, 30, 40. By the time she's at 40%, she can literally see someone walking past, look at them and like understand their thoughts and shit. It's crazy. But the point is, like, what are we really sitting down thinking about all day? That's the biggest form of sin, because we just we're wasting our time, our money, and our thoughts. If you start to change what you think, perspective is reality. If you can change what you think, what you consume each day, you will change what you do each day. I tell all this from experience, because there's been many years where I would just sit and just be on Instagram, YouTube, bullshit, listening to just fucked up music. I'm not telling you to change your whole playlist, my nigga, but it's like, can you listen to different music that inspires you to feel a different way, to think differently, to start off the morning? Like, don't start off the morning listening to fucking rap and just dumb shit that's gonna get you like pumped up. There's a time and a place for that. And people think that these are just like small things that they don't have a big effect. But everything that we do influences us. Even if it don't matter if you're the biggest leader in the world. Like, if you hung around a bunch of low-level people or a certain type of energy, it's going to affect you. It doesn't matter. That's just how it works. So we gotta focus on listening to your conscience, the authentic voice of God. Every time you hear in your mind the thing that you know you should do, just get up and do it immediately. That's gonna lead you to stop making all these sinful daily acts of not wasting your time, or not investing your time, not investing your money, not investing your thoughts. I talk about all this every single day through my Instagram. So if you struggle with anything like setting a structure, a plan, or aligning your daily habits with the person that you want to be in the future, DM me on Instagram. I'm literally all about teaching personal development, highest level of confidence and appreciation for life, just being the person that you were meant to be. That's what God put me on this planet for, is to teach others. If you struggle with any of that, DM me on Instagram at Isaiah Dillon. Stay locked in. The future looks fucking bright.